Yo, it's this Dyson Night, and this is episode number 35 of the Sup'm Show. And today's topic: do women really care about a man's feelings? It's not the ideal Mother's Day topic, but I'm going to try to do my best. We found it important to discuss this matter, and I think it might work out that it's on a day where we celebrate the beautiful, miraculous gift that God has blessed us with. We call them mothers, but they are obviously angels. They are obviously the reason why we all exist, and they should be celebrated. Yeah, so do mothers really care about a man's feelings? Do women really care? Should they care? Why should they care? When should they care? I'll be joined by your favorite doctor, Dr. Kent Bazard, as well as Juan Knowles. He's on his way in. They just checked it. And I want to say off the bat, I like to play devil's advocate here. I'm thinking that my comrades will like Dr. Kent Bazard on cue. I'm thinking you guys are gonna take one side of this this argument or this discussion or this exploration. So I'm gonna automatically take the other side and say that one of the reasons why men really shouldn't care about how we feel is because I totally forgot. When we picked this topic, I didn't take it into consideration that it would be Mother's Day. So there's a lot of details that men miss. But then again, I would also be on the side of the argument that some of these celebrations are distractions anyway. But all the same, yes, happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers and all the mother figures
Happy Mother's
around
Day.
the
Happy
world.
Mother's Day.
Yes.
Happy Mother's Day to my mother and grandmother. Happy Heavenly Mother's Day to my Aunt Audrey. Happy Heavenly Mother's Day to my Aunt Jewel. Um, Actually, when we thought about this topic, bro, I mean, I wasn't really even thinking about Mother's Day, just like you. I wasn't really thinking about it, to be quite honest. Um, we have an organic way of choosing our topics.
Yes.
We choose our
Yeah.
topics.
We
We choose
naturally
our
flow into
topics.
it.
That's why whenever we talk, it's natural. It's not rehearsed. It's not practiced. We basically make our topics on what we experienced for the week or whatever happened to us during the week. So, or whatever happened in the world during the week.
Right.
Um, so, should a woman truly care, or should a woman care about a man's feelings? And you say you believe you know which side I'm going to take.
Yeah, I believe I know what side you're gonna take. Because I know what side I would take. And I liken myself, we have a lot in common. So
Well,
my personal experience speaks to the side that I want to take, but for the sake of making the argument balance, I am going to take okay.
take
Whatever
the
side y'all
opposite.
on, I can take the opposite.
You can take the opposite.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk. I think we got to talk about. I think we really got to talk about the state. You can't talk about this type of stuff without talking about the state of manhood right now.
True.
I think that, and I think that there's a couple of things. And by the way, we may have a surprise guest next week who I was talking to today about today's show's topic. But
Nice.
um, when I was talking to this young lady, one of the things, did you know that there's a movie out about, there's a Bahamian film that's being shown this week. I forgot the name of it, but it's a documentary on, um, I guess not women, not spousal abuse, but basically the what's the word? Equality. Right.
Oh, okay. Brilliant.
Gender inequality in the Bahamas. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember.
Hmm.
Gender. I wanted to quote what they were saying. Gender inequality in the Bahamas is the topic
Very
of that
specific. I
movie.
like it.
And I know that that's some. I know that's I'm kind of me and one can be a little controversial with that point. But as far as where the state of manhood is right now, um, my wife was away for a few days, so I watch a lot of TV more than I usually do. And I was watching a lot of shows, and some of these apps they show you commercials and stuff. And every show, every commercial, the female was automatically either pushed to the forefront or shown to be the most competent person in the situation, the most calm and controlled person, the
Hmm.
person who got control of the situation, while the men were freaking out. They're like, "Oh my god!" And the women were like, some of the women were actually pretty uh, insulting. I was like, "Yo, don't be a pussy,
Oh, okay. Right.
right? And get your shit together and let's do it." You understand?
Right.
And every
Right.
which is like what we usually say, right?
Right.
So in every show I watch, and even one or two commercials, I'll go into detail with the commercial. But I'm saying now, um, what we are being shown, and that's fine, and that sounds like women's empowerment, and that sounds like a good thing. When in actuality, from many points of view, many persons say that this is not a good thing. This is
Mm-hmm.
actually just inequality, just flip the other way. If
Mm-hmm.
you're going to talk about equality, that's not equality.
Right.
And then you're doing it intentionally and you're doing it on purpose. So you're doing it with a point and an agenda. So it's definitely not equal, nor is it honest, right? So like in one of the shows, I mean, this woman who's supposedly a trained agent, that's great, but with one hand, she subdues a man who's probably 250 pounds, 6 foot 3 or 5, and she just did a move. And I'm a martial artist. I've been a martial artist almost 40 years. She did a move and did a hand like that and just hold the guy up like this, and he couldn't move. And I said, that's crazy. I teach a women's self defense course.
So it's crazy that she was able to do
And she
this
just
move,
held.
or the move don't exist.
She no, she did, the move exists, but she did the move and she held him with one arm. She was able to subdue, and he was so big. When he was bent over like this, he was still taller than her.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I'm
Uh-huh.
watching this and I'm saying to myself, you're gonna get somebody killed thinking that there's that the average sized woman is strong enough to do that. With
Right.
one hand no less. Okay, now
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm not even gonna get into that because I'm an expert on those things, so I'm not gonna get into discussion about that. But the point I'm making is the only strong men that I saw in all those things I watched this weekend, those examples, or the only masculine kind of strong men were either incompetent, just stupid, or just plain assholes, like plain jerks, or they would have main villain.
Got it.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't understand. I mean, I understand why that is. And this is again to quote one again, something he told me about, I don't know, 6 7 years ago. He said, there's a movement to make men, and especially black men, appear less threatening to meet in media, less threatening and less, I don't know, um, less dangerous.
I have someone who can help you.
Because men
Who,
who are
who, 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 me? I could help
yeah,
him.
Yeah, we
I
quoting
quote
you
I
right
quote
now,
you.
Juan.
I quote you right now.
So you can make
What's
sure
that?
you double check the quote.
I
Go
quote
ahead.
you right now.
What
When
happened?
you told me that there's a movement to make men, and especially black men, appear
Yeah,
less threatening and less dangerous. And I was talking
yeah.
about some examples I saw because I watched a lot of TV this weekend,
Mm,
and some examples I saw in this show. This is actually a funny show. The show's John Cena show. He's a superhero, He's the superhero from DC, Peacemaker.
Yeah, I watched that. You talking about you have like a bird with him, right?
Yeah, Peacemaker.
Yeah, I already watched the whole thing.
Did you see the episode where the first or second episode where the girl like subdued this guy with one hand in the bar?
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about. And I'm sitting there watching that. And again, I'm not trying to brag, but I have 40 years of martial arts experience. I also teach. I'm certified in Gracie Jiu Jitsu women's martial arts. Right. I'm a certified trainer in that. And
Straight bragging.
That's I'm bragging. So I'm saying I know what they're talking about, but that's nonsense. That's nonsense. You understand what I'm saying? That's pure nonsense. I couldn't subdue that guy with that move like that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And not only did she subdue him, she held him while and he was so tall. I was saying, Juan, he was so tall. When he was bending over like this,
Yeah.
he was still taller than him. He was still taller than her. And so the state of manhood, before we talk about what if and when or how a woman should care about a man's feelings, I wanted to talk about the state of manhood right now. And the point is that manhood is now being portrayed as something that's softer, weaker, more pliable, and pretty much incompetent.
Okay,
see?
so right.
I think Ruckus Man is on point. Yes, we portrayed men as bumbling buffoons, right? Men are, what I say to my wife, I said, watch this commercial of a dumb husband, and lo and behold, almost every commercial you see have a dumb husband. I lie.
You're right.
Husband is dumb as rocks. He whatever he does is stupid, and he's the butt of the joke in the commercial.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Nobody says anything about that. That's cool. No problem. Let's do that. But let's also talk about equality, though.
Well, seeing that I'm late to the topic, right, and I apologize to everybody viewing. I had some things to handle with my mom because she lives with me now. So I had to do some things on Mother's Day, so I'm home now. So in my, to a degree, I agree with Ken. But we all must remember one thing also. Like, men are cool with that. Not saying that it's right. You know what I mean? But you got to understand something. Most men, the majority of men, I want to say out of a full 100%, 95% of men will do anything and say anything and act anyway in some way, somehow, to try to get some coochie. This is what it boils down to, bro. And the funny part about it is, even the men that betray that they won't behind closed doors, they will. So you got to look at it from this point of view. Not only are they comfortable being betrayed as buffoons and fools like Ruckus Man say, which I agree with him too. But they don't mind it, bro. Not saying that is right. See, what people need to understand, how we think, we're this much in the vast majority, bro. Our opinions and our, the way we think about things, how we approach different topics, in the grand scheme of things, it's like a grain of sand on the beach.
This is my point. This is my point for the topic, because and it's a bit the reason for what you just said, Juan, is because and I think Dyson said this 2 weeks ago or a week ago. It's because of how we're conditioned as boys.
He told that from me, but go ahead.
It's conditioning, right?
Yeah.
But the truth, but here's the thing: how much? And this is again, I'm trying to tie this to the title now. How much of that conditioning is good, and how much of that conditioning is good for us as men, and how much of that conditioning is bad for us as men? So that's an example of conditioning that's bad, I feel, or that can turn out bad.
Okay. Let me, I said that whatever side y'all on, I was going to take the opposite side. For the sake of the fact that...
Did we pick a side yet? We didn't pick a side yet.
We ain't pick a side yet. but we
But
already
he
started in that
about to tell me
direction.
the opposition to what I just said.
Yeah,
To what you're both saying. To what you're
Go
both
ahead, bro.
saying.
he's gonna oppose us on
It
purpose. What?
it
Okay,
may
that's
be
fine.
it may be opposition as well as it may be clarification.
Go ahead.
Okay.
We talk about mainstream media and
Yeah.
how it portrays men, and I was trying to run through a few recent movies that were very popular. One being the one that came to mind was Black Panther. Not what was part two? It was called something different, right?
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda Forever. And in Wakanda Forever, the greatest superhero in Marvel, right? The only superhero to beat America's main superhero is Captain America. The only person who could beat Captain America, Black Panther, dies, right? In his battle with his ailment, there's a woman trying to save him. One.
I'm listening.
In the movie, the most powerful character from the beginning of the movie was his mother.
Yeah.
In the movie, the legacy, the villain was a man, and not no regular man, a waterman. And
You do know who that waterman is, right?
that waterman would have been who?
What's his name?
I can't remember.
You talking about
Submariner.
Namor? You
Namor.
talking about Submariner, bro?
Submariner, yeah.
You
Yeah,
talking
right.
about see, can't you get it? Because me and you, we be superhero Marvel fans. I don't think everybody realizes who Submariner really is.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I want you
Go
to
ahead,
tell
go
us.
ahead,
I want you to
Nigel.
tell us.
Yeah, I know.
Because there's only one more point. The other point about
They don't get it, bro, Ken. They don't get who Namor is. But go ahead.
the other point is that the legacy of black heroism or the next superhero for the black people, right, in this imaginary black civilization is a woman. So I would agree that mainstream media is showing women in a more respectful manner, or more, I guess, to be the champions, to be the superheroes, right? However, I do not see where other than the fact that the woman did beat the villain, who is a man, in the end. I mean, if they kind of like beat him, but not really beat him. I see it as it just mainstream media just trying to balance the image of man versus woman, to say that we are more equal. So I wouldn't say that it's a mode to, or it's a plight or a plot to emasculate man, but simply to bring women up, to say women could be just as strong
I
as men.
can't wait to jump in. Tag me, please.
Now go. Because my point was just that mainstream media is just trying to balance the scale. Maybe.
So
go.
okay. So let's shift this to mainstream animation now. All right?
Uh-huh.
Let's switch it to mainstream animation. Now, back in our time, every cartoon, as far as Thundercats, can't you know where I'm going with this? As far as Thundercats, all right?
Uh-huh.
As far as He-Man,
Uh-huh.
as far as Silverhawks,
Uh-huh.
as far as whatever, no G.I. Joe, Transformers, whatever we considered a cartoon to make boys, to make boys act like boys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And let's keep in mind too, the majority of these cartoons at the end of every episode, they had a good message.
Right.
Let's not forget that now. They never just end He-Man. At the end of, didn't He-Man have every good message at the end of every episode?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
A moral of the story, yes.
Thank you. Now, so check this out. So let's fast forward now to 2019, 20, 21, 22, and 23. I want any one of y'all to go on YouTube right now or Google and put in the same character names that I called off and see exactly how the animation of the character changed. And why do you think it changed so drastically. I'm going to tell you why. Right now, if you look at the old Lion-O, and for those who don't know, Lion-O was the leader of the Thundercats. All right, he was strong, masculine looking. You look at the new Lion-O right now, he looked like a fucking idiot. Again, okay, all jokes aside, am I lying?
No.
Thank you. If you look at Optimus Prime, now no one could deny, yes, he's a robot, he ain't real, yes, people, we all know this. But the moral of the story is Optimus Prime was a good moral character. Go look at the new Optimus Prime now. He looked like a clown. All of this right here is a form of conditioning as well. But now what's going on, it ain't conditioning for us. Because we already got it locked in our mind who these characters really are. This conditioning now is for our children.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
So again, so now we're talking about how or what the message is and how it's being sent and how it changed, right? So
Yes.
again, now back to the question, and let me now start with why, guys. This is my topic. So let me start with why I came up with this topic.
Okay.
I try to summarize this without embarrassing anybody. So I had an experience where I wanted to see exactly where I shared where I thought I was a little bit more emotional than usual, and I kind of just went with it. I was like, okay, let me see if this is a better thing to do. With my wife, we're talking about, and to make this very short, in my opinion, and she always watching. I'm sure my wife watching right now. I don't think she responded well to me being more emotional. And what I mean is not just being emotional, like, upset or crying or whatever. I'm saying emotional where I wanted her to carry the burden of my emotion. You see, usually men are designed to carry burden. That's what we built for. We built that way mentally. We built that way physically, to carry burden. So when a woman comes home and says she had a bad day, she wants you to listen to her and she wants you to listen. No, let me finish. She wants you to.
I agree with you. I'm just saying I ain't listening. But go ahead.
No, we don't have to listen. You don't even have to listen. Just pretend you're listening. But the point is, she wants to unload. She wants to no. Listen.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Go ahead. Yeah.
Most men will pretend they're listening, but for them, it ain't the point that you really hearing them. They just want to tell you the story, and they want to unload that story on you so you can help them carry the load. But you can't do that with a female. You can't take your emotional load and put that on her and expect her to carry that, because women aren't designed to do that for you. When we come and we say we have a bad day, we may tell them about the day, or we may tell them what happened. We might, or we might not. That isn't the point. The point is we want you to help. We want you to not add to that day. We want you to be the opposite of whatever that day was.
Right. Okay.
That's why we're telling you we had a bad day, because we want you to be the opposite of that day. You see? So that's why I said the question. That's why I came up with the question. Because what I found was, and what I in my initial finding was that, again, from the way, and I can't test this with anybody else because I only have one woman. But looking back at my history, I'll be the first one to admit, I don't never front I don't never front with you guys, and I don't never front with the internet.
And most importantly of all, you can't front with me.
No,
because I've been there from.
So this guy is going to hold me accountable, so I can't.
So accountable.
All right, I'm the guy who break windows and smash furniture and speed up and down people's house. This is true. Calling late in the night where you've been.
This is true.
I'm that guy. I'm that
He's
guy
guy.
who's overly emotional with 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 with, with my girlfriend.
Don't even try it, guys. So they happen. Over there.
So I'm saying I've been there, and I've been on two sides of the fence.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, my position is that no, we do not need women to be more. What's the question again? To bear our emotional load. That's not what we want them to bear. We want them to bear kids.
Yeah.
But
Oh, boy.
no. Understand my
Boy,
point.
that's toxic. Can't get. That's
You got a lot
toxic.
to
You better
defend.
take that back. You
I
better
have a
take
lot to
that back,
defend
boy.
today.
Listen,
Listen to this, boy.
Let me listen. Jesus
Boy, I
Lord.
missed it this time. I
Listen.
have now. Go ahead, campus on.
listen.
Dear Lord.
Women have their
Don't cancel me. I have a business. Don't cancel me. Cancel me. Cancel me. Don't cancel me. I didn't say it.
listen. This to make sense. Listen to me.
Okay.
Women have their own load to bear. All right, women are designed to bear one of the most heaviest loads in all mankind, which is childbirth.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a load. If you've seen it, if you've been around it, men, you know
Yeah.
that we thank God every day that we don't have to do that.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the fact that they have to do that.
Good redemption. Good redemption.
Yeah, I tell you, man, I got it. So.
Hey, when his voice get light like that, Tyson, he ain't got it. But go ahead.
So-
Good.
Come, let me close this out so I can be quiet, please.
Go ahead.
I need to finish this out so I can. Let me finish this.
Yes. Childbearing. Very heavy. Go ahead.
I might get some cold shoulder tonight. But listen. So I'm saying,
listening.
all I'm saying is, I'm finishing right now. All I'm saying is, women are not designed to carry the load of our the weight of our emotion. That's something that we are conditioned pretty much to carry ourselves. Be a man, suck it up, deal with it. And I think that that's a good trait for men because we have other loads to carry, we have other things to deal with. We can't be thinking about, oh, my boss talked to me hard at work, so I'm mad. Nah, you ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? You got a family to take care of, you got things to do. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm saying my answer to the initial question is no. I don't think we should be looking for women to care about our feelings. I don't think we should be looking for that. It's nice if you have that. It's great, but it shouldn't be necessary. A man should be able to handle his own feelings and carry his load himself. Okay.
So they should carry. So according to Kent Bazaar, they should carry babies, laundry, sandwiches from the kitchen to him. You know, and other stuff. Okay, Kent Bazaar, go ahead. We get it.
Yeah, but I mean, you introduced the word equality into the conversation. We asking the question: do women really care about a man's feelings? And in your opinion, you feel as though they shouldn't have to. Coupled with the fact that media is trying to paint men as I would just call them objects, or no, I would call them dependents, people that depend on that need help, right? We're no longer the savior of the day. We are
You see that Tyson, he ready? I canceled. He ain't even on camera no more. He gone.
He had to go apologize. He's back now. Let me put him back in.
Hey, look here. Hey, real talk.
no.
It's only for the show, okay? I didn't really mean it.
but hold on. But the thing is here. Let's speak of it, because now you put me. I was not expecting you to end with that men don't require women to care.
I'm saying we
Basically,
shouldn't. I'm saying we shouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Can I chime in on this just a little bit?
Let me answer this question. We shouldn't expect them to be available for that. That's what I'm saying. If they are there for, if they do it, if they do it, if they don't do it, it shouldn't make a difference. That's what I'm saying.
Because they already have a lot to bear already.
Right, and they bear different loads. They have a lot to bear, and it's our job to bear. I don't want to say that stress, but you understand what I'm saying. It's
But
our
you don't
job
feel
to
as though
listen or pretend not to listen. But it's not for them. It's not for them to carry our emotion and try to feel what we're feeling and help
do,
us to feel better about ourselves. That's not
do you
their job.
feel that that is our generation's conditioning though? To be the superhero, to always go into fix it mode every time a woman complains about a problem.
It's
We
definitely
bear
conditioning.
we
It's
bear the
definitely
load.
conditioning. It's
Oh,
definitely
okay,
conditioning. So
so
so the new generation is being
Men are naturally fixers still.
so the new
By
yes
nature, that's how we are.
the new generation is being conditioned to be a bunch of you know what's right. So everything is overly sensitive. The males I'm talking about, all the males are overly sensitive. That's what we're being conditioned to do now. And in my opinion, that's going to create a whole society of weak men. And when you have a society of weak men, you have problems.
Yep.
Your sandwich.
My wife.
And Jenny's like,
Hey, look here. Hey, look here. Look here. Hey, where's she going right now?
she brought him a sandwich.
Hey,
She
hey,
said
look
she
here.
brought
Look
him
here. Look here. So two more people on the Sup'm Show hungry too.
Yeah, well, you need to get a woman who cares about your feelings. That's what you need.
Who,
You
Get
me?
your own good woman.
you need
Get
yeah
your own.
you yeah you. If you want a
Get your own.
sandwich,
Get your own. Get your own good woman.
Don't make me pull rank up in here now.
I didn't pay you. I didn't pay you to do that. Okay.
but that's cool. So here we. Oh, Juan, you was gonna say something. Did we knock it out? Should I
Well,
talk till we bring it back up?
no. Well, to jump right off of what Kent's point was, right? It all depends on the personality of the woman that you're with. Now,
Whether or not she cares, whether or not she
yes.
should care.
No. Whether or not you should unload your little things on her. Now, naturally,
Whew.
I don't think they're equipped to listen too long about your shit. Okay. Now,
Hmm.
and it also not all the it also depends on the duration of the relationship too, because you tend to get a woman that will listen to everything you got to say, even cry with you if you're the type of guy when it's early in the relationship because she wants to be with you.
All
Okay.
right.
But once that relationship passes a certain threshold and you all start to get comfortable within each other and know your do's and don'ts, I don't think it's wise for a man to be overly emotional in life in general, but especially with your significant other. That is the quickest way for her to lose respect for you. Quickest. Even if she tells you, baby, I just want you to get in touch with your feelings and the emotion. And I want you to sit me down and really express, listen, you'll do that. And I guarantee you, by the fifth time you do that, you're going to repulse the hell out of her. And she's going to dry up down there like a Sahara desert. I promise you that. I promise you that. And then you know what happens from that point? She starts looking at the Pookies and Ray Rays out there. We all know who they are. The Pookies and Ray Rays are the guys that don't give an F about nothing. And this is what fucks up a lot of men's minds. Sorry to drop the F bomb there. Because you will have a lot of men out here, right, that'll provide the best for their girlfriend or their wife, right? Will buy her a home, the best vehicles, everything. But on the flip side, you're such an emotional little bitch as a guy to the point that you repulse her. Now, she'll keep you around because, truthfully speaking, you're the provider. She ain't going to trade that. She's not going to trade that in and don't trade something for something else. You're the provider. This is game 101 right here now. But I can promise you, the guy that opposite attract, the guy that she really probably attracted to at that point in the relationship is someone that's completely opposite from you. That's why we say all the time, women will make a lifetime trying to change you. And men will spend a lifetime trying to keep her the way she is. Because when you change for a woman, That's not what attracted her in the first place to you. So to some degree, you got to stay a little bit. I'm not saying you can't change as time go on, but you have to stay a little bit of who you originally were, because
Okay.
that's the initial attraction between you all two.
All right. Topic check now. We want to figure out if women care to hear it, not whether or not a man should expect for her to care, but should
Do
she
they really
care?
care?
So let me ask the question. Let's
Jenny?
say, yeah, let's say general question. Let's say a man just lost his job. He gets a call and find out that his best friend was shot, and is in the hospital fighting for his life. And at the same time, he walks in the door he walks up to his house and sees an eviction notice on the door. Now, according to our conditioning, our generation's conditioning, all of that we supposed to suck up. In today's world, suck up and mean what I mean is deal with it, don't complain about it, figure it out, pull up your socks and get out there and figure out a way to make it right? Fix everything, fix every problem. If your boy need
All the builders.
some cash to pay the doctors, you hit the streets and you make that money. You got to pay them bills. You or find a new place to stay. You get out there and you grind and you try to make that happen. So all of these things you have to deal with internally. You can't go to your woman and complain that this and such is the case and expect for her to take that on along with everything else that she has. That's what our conditioning that's what turned us into, what it's turned us into. However, in today's world, we find that men are, well, there's a lot of reports about men being under extreme, having mental health issues through extreme stress and challenges. So we are trying now to make it so that men feel like it's okay to seek counseling, express
To be vulnerable.
themselves, to be vulnerable, right? So in the sense now, let me bring the two. This goes straight down the middle to say that the man does not expect help from the woman, but he wants her to understand that it is a lot for me to bear. Should the woman care, and do women care?
No. That's my answer. Go, Ken.
Time it is.
I ain't even going into all that. Our answer is no. But go ahead, Ken. They sympathize.
Before I say yes or no, we kind of been one-sided about this care thing, because we've only really addressed like the stresses of life as far as feelings are concerned. What about the feeling of love itself? Just feelings. Suppose you tell your, and I like the point that Juan said about the period of time that you've been together, and of course hopefully you pick the right woman, but let's skip all of that for now. But I agree, the length of time kind of does make a difference.
Yeah.
But so let's say you're with your significant other, long-term girlfriend or spouse, wife, and you said, you're not usually, me, who's a person who's not closed up, but I don't be like, oh, I love you so much and my heart aches for you. Like, I used to be that dude, right? I used to write poetry, and
Your guy said my boy was a real Shakespeare boy. You hear me? Michelangelo / he was a Michael Sphere, Michelangelo and Shakespeare all in one.
But you know what I got? Exactly what one said.
Yeah.
None of those girls, I'm not with any of those girls right now.
Mm-hmm.
None of those girls respected in the long, when it came down to it, and it
In the long
came
run.
down to are they going to be with me or not, they did not respect me. They didn't.
Mm. Mm.
Because once she identifies you, because we like to talk about what we identify as. Once a woman identifies you as weak,
You can't
you
change it.
can't do, bro, you can't do anything after that. So,
Yep.
you have to be very careful when you're talking about you're going to share your feelings, and that includes how you feel emotionally as far as towards her.
Yep.
I tell you this before. My father gave me one piece of advice
You want me
about
to say it?
women
You want me
when
to
I
say it?
was when I was 13.
I'll say it for you.
You say it, go ahead.
Never, ever, ever let a woman know exactly how you feel.
Never.
Never.
And I thought he was so mean for saying that.
And never lie. Never
I
lie.
was like, this is a miserable dude. Like, no wonder you're so miserable, man. Why, why, why would you say something like that? It took me 20 years to figure that out.
Yep.
It took
Wow.
me 20 years to figure that out. It's not a selfish thing. It's just that what he's saying was, don't make yourself more vulnerable or
Vulnerable.
appear
There you
more
go.
vulnerable to any female. Don't ever do that. Do not give it a power, and don't give it that power over you by opening up your vulnerability to her.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand?
I
No
understand.
matter how much she loves you, she may still love you, but like Warren said, when you start to diminish in her eye as that protector, you
Mm-hmm.
better keep that provider game up. Because if that provider game fall down too, so
That's
you
right.
can't protect her, you can't provide for her. She's not going to allow you to be her priest.
Nope.
She's not.
Mm.
If you cannot provide and protect, you cannot be her priest. It ain't gonna work.
You always, listen, in in my opinion, you always have to remain and be somewhat of a mystery, even to your significant other. I don't care how long you've been together, because the mystery is what attracts. The minute she figure you out 100%, it's over. Now, I'm not talking about a mystery to the point where you cheating and you doing all this other stuff. I'm not talking about that. Or you're doing some stuff you're not supposed to be doing. When I say mystery, I brought a mystery of your personality, a mystery of how you may, address things within the relationship. That keeps things on point, and that keeps things interesting. The minute you
Mm.
become predictable is when things start to go south.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me on that. Let me tell you something, bro. Sometimes you just got to get mad at her for no reason at all.
I heard.
Just
I
to
heard.
shake things up.
I heard a old school. One of my first band leaders gave me that word of advice.
Mhm.
Sometimes just come home raw it for no
But
reason.
let me tell you something, and then it's not because, and the reason why you do that, right? It's not because you're trying to be an emotional wreck. You're trying to be in your feelings, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're messing with her emotions, and a woman's an emotional creature. You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
you need to know how to strip her of all her emotions to the point that she's an emotional wreck, and then build her right back up. If that makes sense.
That's what
So
I'm
You have
saying.
to know how to do that.
She can't carry hers
Yep.
and yours, and if you have kids, she carrying theirs too.
Thank you.
Like that's a lot, bro. I mean,
That's a
I'm
lot.
not. Let's be real now. That's a whole lot of
Mhm.
emotion to carry
That's a
around.
lot. Exactly.
And being the type of beings that we are, when we do decide to whatever we decide to do, it's going to be big and huge. So if we decide to be emotional creatures, we can be some big emotional creatures,
Bitches.
right? If we decide to be bitches, we can be some big
We do
bitches.
some big bitches, bro.
You see? So that's why
Some
we need to
BBs.
stay being big men like we're supposed to be. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm saying man to use the term lightly, but again, like you accurately said, one, everything that we discuss comes down to the individual relationship, comes down to the individual you're dealing with, and comes down to the time that you've spent,
Hmm.
what the context of your relationship is.
Hmm.
But generally speaking, or Dyson, generally speaking,
Mm-hmm.
I say no.
All right. Let me let me make it a little less intense. Let's say you call your wife up around lunchtime and say, "Hey, babe, you know that roast that I love so much, I would really like for you to make that for dinner tonight. I feel I feel like I really need to, you know, to have that. I want some comfort. I had a hard day, and that roast would really make me happy. Should a woman take that on?
She should
This
take
is
that
this
on.
is
She should take that on without me even calling. She should take that
yeah.
on without. Like Ken said earlier,
So
right?
what do you believe that she would? And if she's had a hard day, that means she didn't bear she bear a load of her own. You only
There's
feeling
exception. There's exceptions to the rule, though, Dyson. Like you can't expect each and every time you speak for anybody to jump. Anybody. You understand? Whether it be your significant other, your wife, your girlfriend, your friend, your coworker, whoever. Even as a boss. Even as a boss, when I speak to my coworkers, they don't jump all the time because there's no telling what mood they're in.
right.
You know
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying. But we're talking about a man's feelings. Yeah. This
But
is
then guess
this
what?
is
But your home should be a place that when you
But see,
come home from work,
one,
is
I
a
mean,
place of peace.
Dyson. Again, that's my point. For me to come home and try to, again, uplift my mood rely on my wife alone to reciprocate my feelings and to lift me up, especially if you have a wife that's at home. I mean, one thing that we don't promote on our show is being an asshole. Don't be an asshole.
Nope.
Don't be an asshole. You bad
Don't,
for
don't,
all
don't be
men.
like me, guys. Don't be like me.
You're bad for all
you,
men.
you walk you walk the line one. You're not.
No,
You just walk that line. You're like,
your woman had a hard day. You know she tells you she had a hard day. At least find out what kind of day she had, or tell you you know what I'm saying. You should be in tune with your mate
Yeah.
to have that kind of communication to know, hey, we had a rough day. So you know what you're doing. That we both had rough days. Let's go cook this roast together. Come, let's go in the kitchen. Let's cook this roast. You
He
understand what
still
I'm
sounding
saying?
like a poet to me. To me, one. He's still
Huh?
still in that he's still in that poetry. Sound like he's still being Shakespeare around here.
But you know what's even better though? You know what's even better? When you come home and don't expect no roast at all, but it's still done regardless.
No, but when the problem is you don't want to sow seeds of discontention with your spouse, bro. Husband or wife. You don't want to sow that seed of discontent with your spouse. That's a horrible situation to be in, and that only goes downhill. There's a person you're married to now. There's some chick who you just with, this mother of your children. You're all living together, blah blah blah. So you're actually trying to be together. There's someone I can say, look here, carry your thing up,
All right.
right?
Okay. So the answer is no. Right, one. Women do not really care about your feelings.
No.
That statement
Why
strongly
Dyson knife?
backs.
What
Yes,
why
sir.
write one? Can't Bazard say no to jump over
But you
me
say no
and jump
first.
to him?
You say no first.
What do you say no now?
No, but he went through a whole
Lord.
like 3 hour explanation before he answered no. You just jumped right in there and said no. So I feel as though you more sure about your answer. He's still debating.
But guess what? Ken is the encyclopedia king. You know that, right?
Right. Okay.
Ken
Right.
is the
So,
encyclopedia and the Torah king. That's him.
Oh, for God's sake!
all right.
Go
So
ahead.
no
ahead.
no is the answer, and no is an answer that I agree with. But as the devil's advocate here,
Oh.
I want to say this.
Want to?
No. Okay. First, I would say that supports the idea that most people have that women like bad boys. Right? If you don't care about the feelings, then obviously, if somebody come in and rough you up, that's what you prefer. Right? Now, I would like it would be very great if there's a female watching the show right now to put in the comment box what your answer would be. Do you feel, as a woman, do you feel like you care about your man's feelings? And we should have invited a woman on the show because I would really like an example. Here's something that I'll just say that it's made up, but it might be true. Where do you want to go on vacation? It's generally, where do you want to go on vacation? I want to go to Universal Studios, right? That the woman is asking the man, where do you want to go on vacation? I want to go to Universal Studios.
That's what the man said.
The
That's
man
what the
says, I
man
want to go
said.
to Universal Studios.
Okay.
The woman says, okay, Universal Studios sounds great, but I was really thinking we could go to Italy for vacation. Yeah, Italy is a nice place, but I always wanted to go to the Universal Studios. I feel like that'll be a better place for us to go. I have an emotional connection with Universal Studios. That's the first place my father took me when I was a child, right?
You don't give a damn with that, bro. That's between you and your father, bro. Jackson, get out of here with these dreaming way out in with scared. This dude right here in Norm. He's in the Norm and the Rainbow Line, bro. They talking about the different dragons and dwarfs exist, bro.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to defend women who would say that yes, of course we care about your feelings. We want men to care about our feelings, we women. So of course we women will care about the man's feelings. So my man wants to go to Universal Studios. I would really love to go to Italy. All my friends have been to Italy.
Hey,
In fact,
you gonna do it like this,
the
too?
girls. Yeah,
I
I
would
miss
really
the
like to
girls.
go to Italy and help
I
my
miss the
friends.
girls. All my friends talk so highly about Italy. It was so great.
So let's go to Italy.
So I really want to go to Italy. I want to ask you two gentlemen, and if you feel as though a woman doesn't care about a man's feelings, then you're saying to me that it is without a question there isn't a woman in the world who's going to say yes, let's go to Universal Studios because that's how my man feels. He's emotionally connected with Universal Studios. I don't have to go to Italy.
You know how you kill that argument right there. Let me tell you how you kill that argument. This how now everybody listen up now. Since JP is the asshole of the show, y'all listen to me, okay? This does not necessarily reflect. You'll know when I start to say this is going to be something. This does not necessarily reflect the opinions of Dr. Kent Bazard or Muhammad lead singer Dyson Knight. This reflects the opinion of me and solely me. So if you all come for me, come for them two first. Anyway, like I was saying, right?
We got you, bro.
No. In all fairness, right? If me and Ken always talking this too, all jokes aside. As a man, you have to be on your purpose 24/7. You cannot feel as if Ken's word here arrived. When you feel you arrive, is the minute you start to fail. Okay? There is not enough time in the day for me to do what I need to do. I wish I had 48 hours in one day, if that makes sense. Okay? Every hour of the day could be spent if you trying to grow as an individual, trying to gain more resources. So when a question like what Dyson Knight said comes up, this is what you tell your significant other. How about we do 2 vacations? How about we go to Universal Studios first, because that's my initial idea, and I feel, whatever, without telling all the emotional bullshit. You ain't got to say that. But how would we go to Universal Studio, okay, for 4 days, and then we go from there to Italy for a week? Ain't that 2 birds with 1 stone? But guess what? The thing is, most men can't do that because most men ain't on their purpose. This is why I encourage men to get on your purpose. So when situations like this does arrive, you can do things like that. Or you can just be an asshole like JP and say, we ain't doing nothing in Italy. We go on to Universal Studios and that's that. And if you don't like it, go back in the room and close the door. We go with it too. Don't worry. We go with it.
I see you wake up in a cold sweat often. You have these very vivid dreams. Yeah.
No, bro. No. Listen. If it's one thing, right? Personally speaking, for me, I actually am this way, bro. Accept where it is. I'm like that, bro. I'm sorry.
I mean, in all fairness, now, I do believe that. I agree with you guys saying two things. You're saying no, women don't care, and 2, they shouldn't have to care.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In a perfect world scenario, and I do not think that this is a perfect world. When a woman doesn't have to care, it means that the man is able to carry his load himself. Our condition is that he should be able. And our conditioning is, and if you find yourself, tell me if you agree or disagree with this. If a man finds himself unable to carry the expectation of the woman he is with, would you say that he's with the wrong woman?
Kent, you want to grab that one?
Hold on, one more time.
If a man finds that he is incapable, not that he's unable to carry the load of the woman's expectation, woman that he is with. He's unable, incapable of living up to that expectation. Do you feel as though he has bitten off more than he can chew? Is he with the wrong woman?
Those are two different things. Bitten off more than you can chew and being the wrong woman ain't exactly the same thing. So it could be the right woman, but you're not ready for her yet.
Yeah. So you're not ready for the woman.
That might not be the wrong woman for you. That might be the right woman for you. But the point is, you ain't on your game like Warren just said. You ain't up to par yet with what you should be doing or need to be doing, or you ain't a person. You ain't grow up yet. And there's a lot of men out there. Or when I say men, by age men who over 21, who are in situations that grown men should be in, meaning they got kids to take care of, which is the main thing. Sometimes they have a wife, or sometimes at least a baby mama. But you have something like a family at least, and they ain't on the level of, they're still in their mom's house. They do nothing after high school. You understand what I'm saying? Like I couldn't even conceive in my head having kids before I graduate college. Like that didn't make sense to me at all. That whole concept didn't make sense to me.
Conditioning again.
You know what I mean? So I'm saying, in a situation like that, if you feel like you're unable to hopefully you aren't married by the time you reach that, because that's a big problem in my opinion. Because that means now at that stage now you have to try to build yourself up while you're already in a relationship where you're supposed to be building each other up. So she's gonna have to take time from her building herself up and carrying the load she got to carry and help build you. You understand what I'm saying? Whether it's conditioning, whether it's tradition, whether it's genetics, DNA, whatever it is, whether it's God's purpose, it's supposed to be the other way around. We're supposed to be the ones who carry the load while she is able to do the things that she needs to do and in this day and age, that can be customized to whatever we decide that to be. If she's going to be a stay-at-home mom, she's a stay-at-home mom. If she's a part-time stay-at-home mom, she's a part-time stay-at-home mom. Whatever it is, she's a businesswoman, I'm a businessman, whatever that is, we can customize that. But the point is, we both have a load to carry. Yeah. And there are some loads that I can carry that she can't. There are some loads that she can carry that I can't. So if you can't carry your load, you understand what I'm saying?
I get in a topic for another discussion, and let me write that down. But I want to draw back now, because believe it or not, we are 58 minutes into the show. We're saying that women don't care, and they shouldn't have to care, because a man is a man is a man. Now, the message, I think, there needs to be a message like on Thundercats at the end of this, and I want to make sure that people understand. But I gather that this show has been a message to men way more so than it is a message to women, or even a talk about women. Happy Mother's Day again, all the mothers out there and the mother figures. What we're trying to do for the mothers out there is to get men to understand what their position and role is in society, contrary to what is being pushed by mainstream media, right? And that message.
Dyson, let me ask something very important. Let me play devil's advocate now. to Tyson Knight. Why do you think media? Why do you personally think the media is pushing a narrative like that towards men?
I
Why do you think
think,
so?
well, I love conspiracy theories
Go ahead.
all
So do
day,
I.
right? Um, and it is my humble opinion that mainstream media is headed by two things. There are a lot of members of the LGBTQ, y'all know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
community at the top. At the top. So that's point one. And two, since the new slavery, the new structure of slavery post emancipation, post Britain forcing America to follow their lead in ending slavery, that whole act of reparations for former slave owners and the restructuring of slavery, one of the key objectives was to break the home, was to damage the household, to split it apart,
Of who?
and of blacks and minorities.
Oh
Everybody
no, oh,
who
no,
in
I agree with you. I just want you to clarify. I agree with you
right
100%. Go ahead.
right was to destroy the family. So the main it as in in Christian teaching, which is the teaching that we all follow post colonization, especially post colonization, is that the man is the lead of the household, and that is the structure that everybody felt comfortable with. Society was comfortable with that, and in order to break the household, the target was the men. That's why there are a lot of black men in prison. That's why there are a lot of black men dead. That's why we teach the men, oh, you have to be the person. To this day, we are conditioned to say it's us who will take the bullet. I've asked many women, would you jump in front of the bullet for me? Me who? I ain't jumping in front of no bullet for no man. Right? But it's not a question with us. If our wife is in danger, listen, I went through a home invasion. Right? It seemed to last 4 hours. It probably only lasts like 30, 40 minutes. Where I was threatened to be tied up. They had one guy with a gun to my head, the next guy rummaging through the bedroom, and my kid's mom, I had her tucked in behind me and pressed up against the bare head behind me. And in my mind, it was like, if they touch her, it going down. If they touch me and try to talk about tying up something, it's going down. I am going to kill at least one of these dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I feel as though that is my conditioning to say, I'm going to save this woman. I can save her. My life first. You see what I'm saying? So to answer your question, Warren, remind me of the question, because that took me down a avenue just now.
Why do you feel
Yeah.
that the media is trying to push
There you go.
Yeah.
the softening of men?
Right, because we want to destroy the home, and I think it's just that new age slavery here. So we are going to make sure that men are going to throw themselves in the front of the train, which is why most of the superheroes were men, which is why most of the black people are in prison. It's so easy for us. We make it difficult for you to progress. We make it difficult for the men to progress, and then we push on into the media that if your man isn't doing X, Y, and Z, he's not a man. So now we have the women pushing, saying, "Oh, you ain't no man if you ain't this, you ain't a man," and that, and we keep moving that bar. We keep making the cost of living higher and higher and higher, and say that the man is the breadwinner.
All right.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So and then the expectation is Gucci, Dolce and Gabbana, Prada, Coach, And women expect these gifts. Let's look at Mother's Day. Mother's Day, every woman is expecting way more than they're willing to give on Father's Day.
Yep. Boy, I just had this conversation this morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. Just had it. I said, listen,
So
y'all have Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, anniversary, birthday, Christmas, Easter. We we get Father's Day in a pack of underwear.
yeah,
There.
so yeah. I mean, the reason why it's like that is because it's more distractions, bro.
Mm-hmm. Makes
That's
sense,
all
bro.
it is. Because we know, as men, and all three of us, we've had other shows where we've established that these distractions, we acknowledge that they are distractions, and we don't give too much attention to these distractions. So we understand that it takes looking past these expectations, these social expectations to make your household successful. If you want to take vacation, to do both vacations, you can't entertain Christmas.
Nope,
You can't
not to that
entertain
level.
Valentine's Day. You have to take the Valentine's Day money and the Christmas money and hold and say we go into Universal Studios and then we go into Italy, or vice versa. You see what I'm saying? But on Christmas and Valentine's Day, ain't nobody could talk to you worse than a woman, whether it be your significant other or even your mother. Oh, you need to do this on Valentine's Day. Oh, you need to be this person. Oh, you need to be that type of person. We have to turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to those type of distractions, because at the end of the day, we know rent. We know we gotta build our house. We know we got to pay the light bill. We know we got all these different type things that when your woman leave you, she gonna have 7 other men taken care of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Say it again, bro.
When she leave you, there could be 7 other dudes out there. One for everything that she needs.
Absolutely.
Who's gonna handle it? And we know that right now the ratio is 7 to 1. It is 7 women to 1 man.
Listen,
So
and to add on to that, right?
it's
The
crazy.
most most successful, right? Handsomest, JP. Okay, no. The most successful, handsomest, achievable man in the world have a problem with getting some chicks like that. But the most bottom of the bottom feeder chick have no problem with getting one or two or three successful men to do things for her. Always remember that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want any of the women to feel tapped by my statement, because these three guys here on the show also feel as though you shouldn't have to care about what we're going through, because we can handle our own business. Great,
Yeah,
fine, and and the message now is to the men: um, respect that women have. Actually, it sounds like I'm about to close off on the show. So who wants? Let's just establish who's gonna speak last before we.
I'll
You,
go last.
Dyson.
Oh, okay, all right.
One.
I'll go last.
You
Okay.
go last. Okay, Juan will go last.
Yeah.
So I'll go first. Kent, you go second, and Juan, you go last. Men, I personally want you to understand from your boy Dyson Knight,
Yeah.
that it's something that we talk about on the show all the time. And even though the show isn't specifically for men, we are men, and we can talk what we know best. And I'm telling you, build yourself. Build yourself. Where do you being the soft, emotional Shakespearean poet to your female, continue to make your purpose, your mission, your focus. Because the minute you can't, it don't matter what your sad story is.
Ooh.
It may be entertained for a little while,
Yeah.
but ultimately at the end of the day, it does not matter. Your feelings do not pay bills, brother.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, I can keep mine short too. Um, the truth is, and the reason why that I take the position that no, women don't care and no, they don't need to care, is because of what Dyson just said. Not only, not
Explain to Fee what I said, because I understand what she did. Type what you don't understand, and if I have a minute, I'll come back to it.
so so what I'm saying, so what I'm saying is the reason why I take that position is because it's very important for men. You said build yourself, develop yourself, but it's more than just things and even education. You understand? It's more than that because there's a lot of dudes with plenty. It's not a lot of dudes out there with plenty money and all types of property and stuff like that, and they still simps, or they're still miserable, or they
They just a
um,
simp with money.
still over emotional, still don't know how to handle certain situations, still can't control themselves, still can't control their anger, still can't control their mood or whatever, still don't have discipline over themselves and their mind. There's a lot of dudes with money. Look at Ja Morant. Ja Morant just gets suspended again for waving a gun on or some, a video going around waving a gun. He's still out being a little ghetto troll when he's supposed to have now stepped up in life to be something else. And he's still in get it. All right. So it takes more than just money and increasing your actual monetary value, your worth, to become what the term, which I don't really like the term, but what they like to call a high value man. I don't like that term, by the way. But what we like to call a high value man, right? You got to have it here too. You have to be
Yeah.
rooted in your mind. You have to be strong in mind. You have to be disciplined. And if you're going to be if you need to unload your feelings, there's many different ways to do that. There are many different, and if you have a woman who you can do that with, a partner who you can do that with, you're consider yourself blessed. If you have somebody who's going to help you with the load you're carrying, can help alleviate that for you, consider that a blessing. If you have a woman
Absolutely.
who there's a difference between helping you to carry your load and not adding to your load. Some women they can't help you carry the load, but they could not add to your load.
Mm-hmm.
That's also good. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So if they can relieve your load, that's great. They might help you carry it, but they can at least make it easier for you to carry.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's good too. Consider yourself blessed in those situations, but don't. That should not be an expectation. I don't think that should be a requirement. And this is coming from a guy, like I said, who has been in some really stressful and emotional situations with girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
And the main thing I'm going to tell my son is exactly what my dad told me. Do not let a woman know how you exactly how you feel about her. But I'm going to add some things to that. I will say, until you know that this is a woman who's worth it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's going to be a lifelong lesson trying to figure out if that woman is worth it or not. That's a lifelong lesson trying to figure that out. All right. So that's my message. And I still stand with no, women don't care because that's that's their programming. And two, they don't need to care because we shouldn't need them to care because that's our programming.
Cool.
Take us home, one.
Man, no one give a fuck about your feelings. Stop being a little bitch. Get on your purpose. Make something of your life. Conquer the world. Do your best to be you. Stay on your purpose. Never forget it. That's that. JP out.
Well, that's been episode 35 of the Sup'm Show. Do women really care about a man's feelings? You've heard everything we have to say. There's a whole lot more to the conversation. We do invite you to leave your comments in the comment box because it might inspire another topic for us to talk about on the show. We have been posting, like this is episode 35. You probably only find about 13 episodes on the YouTube channel. I'm still in the process of uploading all of the old episodes, which have been interesting to watch. I just uploaded episode 11 today. Um, so yeah, just make sure that you subscribe. You'll get a notification when we go live. You will also be able to tap into the other 14 or 15 shows that I have uploaded. Again, hey, we talk it out to figure it out so that we can work it out. This is a show about solutions. So y'all stay tuned. If you want to get on the show, I see we may have a surprise guest next week. I don't know how much of a surprise we want to make that. We might want to lock that in and just let everybody know what is to come. But if it has to be a surprise, then it has to be a surprise. But we want to expand the Sup'm Show to make it the type of entity that you can walk away from feeling fed. Again, and in conclusion, on the 14th of May, we like to say Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there, as well as all the mother figures. And I love that. I believe that's going to be another show too, the mother figures. Peace out, y'all. Be safe. Good night.